we should get to what we're gonna speak about for an hour ish.
And that is.
In this case, it's the current state of game trailers.
Ah, yes, game trailers. One of the issues with the modern day trailers of video games nowadays is the fact that it depends too much on using cinematics,
Yeah,
cinematography, if you may.
yeah, and that's it's not the worst thing out there, but I
Yeah,
feel like it could have a bit more of everything else.
yeah, more gameplay,
More gameplay.
more showing off the world that the developers have created or plan to create,
Yeah,
or some basics at least. If they don't have none of that made yet.
yeah. The trailer isn't bad, but if all it is just a scene, well, that's not very useful.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It could still be useful. It's just that the way it's handled is that the entire trailer is nothing but a cinematic. No
Yeah,
gameplay, no showing off of the world. No demonstrating the characters that you'll be playing as, the enemy design, or at least the enemy itself, or what it'll look like.
yeah,
Just showing off the cinematography. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it just looks nice, but as I said, there's really none of that. Well, there's been several. In fact, for the last 9 years, 10 years, it's basically been that, except indie games that show gameplay.
yeah, I've been not.
But all of the big brands, all of them have scenes. That's it.
Yes, nothing but scenes. The AAA games, you mean, right?
Yeah, all of them have just scenes.
Yeah, nothing but CGI, 3D animation, rather than showing gameplay, more gameplay, or instead show both the cinematic and gameplay.
Yeah, no, they
No.
don't really show any of that.
They depend too much on showing more cinematic 3D animation, rather than doing both. And
It
that.
it just looks cool, but that cool isn't giving you much info about the game.
Yes, and not only that, to make things worse, it's basically covering the fact that it's not actually what the game will look like.
Most likely, no,
Uh huh.
definitely not. I think that an example of that is Fallout. That's an example of that.
Yes, the show that sometimes, just sometimes, shows off some cinema, some animation. And I'll have to admit, there were some trailers that show some gameplay, but that's not how it ended in the final product.
Oh, and there's some that show gameplay.
And
Yeah,
no, wait,
but they show it in a way where it's still a scene, animated, but it looks like gameplay. I like those. Those are basically the same, but yeah, it looks like gameplay, but it isn't.
yes. Oh wait, wait, hold on a second. I have another example. Death Stranding.
Death Stranding is a pretty good example of a game that has a scene for a trailer completely. Debut, basically.
Yes.
And apart from that, it doesn't tell you anything.
Yeah.
No info at all.
It tries way too hard to be mysterious and vague, and while at the same time showing off all of these concepts. But
I mean, it is. It's just that it doesn't give you any info at all about the game. Nothing.
yes, absolutely nothing at all, and all and
It did
all
look epic, of course, but like, that's all. That's it.
and
There's
look.
there was just no story, no
I mean,
nothing.
there was a
Like,
story. It's just that it's confusing.
there was a story. I guess if you could say that, but just as you said, confusing is an understated statement.
Oh. The
As I said, would just say that there just was none.
well, now that I'm thinking about it,
If it did
the-
have some, then it would at least show an example of the enemies or something like that. And I don't mean like just show it a gun. I mean like an example. Oh no, that he stole a gem for an area and all that. There you go. That's the main enemy. But in this one, it's just an example. Something just appears. Oh no, dies. But that's it. An example. What info can you get from all that? From that little bit that I gave you.
wow.
What did you learn from any of that?
I learned confusion.
Well, exactly.
Yes. And not only that, but the game itself looked like it looked like it could have been an interesting game, but all it was just walking from point A
It
to
should have been,
point A to point B, delivering packages.
but it should have been epic.
Yeah, it should
That
have.
wasn't the case, but it should have been.
Comic
But
comic.
going back to the trailers that we spoke about,
Yes. And I kind of noticed that big games, AAA games, I mean, tend to have a tendency to depend on the cinematic trailers to do the talking for them instead of you know showing the game itself more
Yes.
rather than having the scenes take over.
again, an example of all that is basically right now every single AAA game.
Yeah.
They give you no information from the game at all, just a trailer that looks good, yeah, but there's no info on the game at all.
I can
Especially like those trailers that are animated, but the game, an example, is a card game, but the trailer looks epic, but it's a card game, but the trailer doesn't say so. I found a few of those, yeah, like the trailer is epic, but it's a card game.
yes.
I like those.
And by the way, I know of a game trailer that is a good example of this whole cinematics taking over trailers and not showing gameplay situation. The Callisto Protocol and an upcoming sci-fi survival horror game that is from what I read being directed by the same person that directed Dead Space.
I haven't seen the much info about that yet, but yes, yes.
The only trailer is nothing but cinematography. I mean not cinematography. What's the word I'm looking for? Just animation. Yes.
Yeah,
CGI. 3D animation.
which isn't bad.
Cinematic animation.
It isn't bad, but if the trailer is just that, then how is a person, going to know what type of game this is?
Oh boy.
It could say this and that and the tags, like shooter, third person, all that. But how are you going to know, for example, if it's gonna be a good game, or if it's a bad game, or if it's a not so good but not so bad, it's a halfway game, like you can play it. How are you gonna know any of that from a scene?
That
Especially if very many of these games ask you to pre-order for $60 to $70. So like you need to put your money in without even knowing what you're gonna get. An example of that would be, what was this one with zombies from Sony?
Days Gone.
Days Gone. That's an example of that. That was a lot of money, like $75, I think it was, for the golden bike, which is a great deal, I must say. I mean, it's a golden bike.
If I remember, it cost like nah.
It was $60 to pre-order basic, but if you want it, as I said, the golden bike, which was excellent. I mean, like It's a gold bike. Buy it. So
yeah,
if you
buy
wanted
it.
that-
It's so shiny.
If
Yeah.
you wanted that, it will cost you $70. I think it was 70. 75. One of those two. It was expensive. There you go. That's the point. So the people that bought that, wow. I can't imagine what they must have thought about the game once they got it. At least they had the gold bike, but wow. I don't
Yes.
think that was worth it at all. Considering that the game is quite
Generic.
generic, yes. Sadly enough.
I'm not gonna lie, but I was actually honestly expecting it to like come out generic because
Me as well.
come
since
on,
it's
it's a-
basically zombies.
it's basically another zombie killer just with the survival aspects this time.
Like nearly every single zombie game that's coming out, they're all a copy and paste of each other. Sadly enough, or a copy and paste of an older game that's already come out.
Yes,
Sadly enough.
and
But I don't understand that though. Why is it that it needs to be a copy? Can't the these devs innovate a bit more?
I mean, not they could have been a different thing. It's just that you know trying to make a zombie game stand out from the rest of the crowd without
yeah,
being too
that's-
similar or
Yeah.
too repetitive nowadays. It's really hard.
Is there really a need to continue having these zombies be the same as in all of those other games? There you go. Is there a need to do that? Can't they have them, an example, have them be smarter than that? Still be like the undead and have tentacles coming out of their head or something. But like in Res 4, I think it was.
yes,
Res
but
5 and 6, where they got smarter, they were still basically the undead. But when you blew off their head, tentacles came out and they were actually still alive.
yes.
There you go. Like, can't they? I've never seen that concept ever again since those games. All of it now has just been the same thing. They're
Me-
undead. Kill them. They shoot. They die. Done. That's it. Like just the same thing, and they're all slow as well.
Me as well. Me as well. I have never seen another zombie game which has a decent amount of variety of zombies.
And
Unless of course
another
you.
thing about that is that just adding a big zombie doesn't make it any different.
Yeah,
All of them have a big one.
It's like it's like either changing the size of the zombie to like average size to large, like for example a Goomba from small to big. Yeah, that's
it
basically
doesn't change anything.
that's basically the big zombie bosses. That they're from small to big, or if they have to, they like give it a few details to call it new.
Yeah, well, why?
That
Couldn't they make something actually new and actually, new?
that I don't know about that, but I have a feeling that making something new, especially in these times where we're basically trying to make a unique concept is hard. I have a feeling that no.
I mean, making a new concept is kind of hard. Most ideas have already been used. It's like the movie in the movie area. Most of the ideas there have all been used.
The movie industry.
Yeah, most of their ideas, the ideas that they had, have all been used.
Yes, and nowadays
Sadly enough.
all we get is either a rip off or a copy paste.
Yeah, just with a different
Just with a
cast, I guess, or a different scenery.
different setting, different plot,
or time as well.
different actions or events, different writing, different everything, and
Yeah.
call it new. While at its core, it's basically just like any other, like for example any other horror slasher movie.
Well, sadly enough, that's the state of that. It doesn't need to be Lala Hike. That's just that most ideas have all been used up.
Yes.
Another thing is that, um, yes, most of these ideas have indeed been used up, sadly enough. But there's also the thing where a script, the person that has a script and all that, and the idea and the power to make the movie, won't accept anything, kind of like new and risky. They'll just stick to the same things that have proven themselves to make cash.
Yes.
Sadly enough,
Without-
that's another sad truth. But
Without a shadow of a doubt that is the case. With pretty much every single entertainment from.
well, yeah, games as well suffer from that.
Yes.
Sadly enough, that's kind of changing now, thanks to all of the software used to make games turning cheaper, and also the software to make movies cheaper. Sorta changing. Most of them are still copy and paste of each other, sadly enough, but some stand out.
Yes. I just wish that some people the developers or creators that are standing up were more common instead of once or twice every like 1 or 4 years.
Well, if only, but that's not how things work.
Uh,
Sadly enough. No,
what a shame.
indeed, what a shame.
Ah, crap.
But again, there's really nothing that we can do about that. That's just how things ended up.
No, there really isn't much that nobody can do about that.
Yeah, no.
I just really wish that like in the video game industry that there were at least a few more creative.
There are. Yeah, there is. I'll call it the indie scene for the movie industry that does exist. But it's just that, just like in the gaming industry, they kind of need to hit it hit it big. What I mean is that what they make goes trending. They need to do that.
Yes.
We've gone from trailers to the state of things. But oh well, let's just continue along. We'll head back to trailers soon enough. But yeah, they kind of need to hit it big by going trending.
The worst part.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's the state of things.
Yeah.
There exist many good mini movies and games. They're all basically indie, but most people wouldn't have heard about them because they're not trending.
Yes, and
Sadly enough.
And to make things worse, those things that were trending, like for example, video games that are trending, or at least have become popular. A good example will be Hello Neighbor, which was popularized thanks to what seems like YouTubers playing the game. And when they
big ones.
Yeah, the big YouTubers that whenever they play a game like Hello Neighbor or Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay. It's understandable that their point is to get views and make money.
Yeah.
Done. But is it really necessary to keep playing the same thing when they know it's bad?
And
apart from that, is it really necessary for their viewers to many of them, just blindly accept these things?
Yeah.
Is that a must?
From what looks like it, yeah. It seems to be like the norm of nowadays.
Well, are any of these people allowed to have their own opinion about something? From what I've seen, no.
And from what I've seen, it's either have your own opinion or be afraid that you're going to be outcasted for some reason, or have no opinion and don't think at all and just do whatever the big YouTuber tells you to.
Can I just join in?
Join in.
Based on what I've not what I on my channel right now, the update of it is quite nice. That's how I'd like it to be. You know, everyone has their own opinion. I like that.
Yes, that's a good.
That's nice.
And that's also a good way to start a fresh community that's not toxic, that doesn't have a bunch of blind followers simply having forming a community because they worship this YouTuber as a fucking as a god, and absolutely not blindly following all orders to play this game or do this just because of said popular YouTuber said it. That is not how anyone should live.
Well, yeah,
I
but
mean,
sadly enough, many of them just follow. Done.
yeah,
I definitely don't want that from my channel. I don't want that. I want people to see my channel and, well, think what they want to. If they like the channel, then good. If they think that it's worthless crap, then it's worthless crap. There you go.
And in my channel, I only have one purpose: to show other horror games that aren't the same, or at least try to show some horror games that aren't the same walking simulator, jump scare, haunted house, walking on long corridors, cliches. You know, the horror games that have all of the cliches, jump scares, and walking on long corridors, and long-haired ghost girls appearing out of nowhere.
Yeah, those games are everywhere. Sadly enough, especially in indie as well.
Especially in indie. So yeah, I want to at least try to find some horror games that don't rely too much on those cliches to be like artificially good.
Those are pretty rare, I must say.
Yes.
They're quite lost.
Yeah.
That's another thing. It's sad how good games kinda just get sunk down by all of the trending games. That most of them really aren't good.
Yeah. Most of them aren't really good.
Not really good, but they're just not fun.
I mean,
and definitely not for everyone.
I mean, they could have been good had they fought it up more, and some other people that would have mentioned some criticism about it. That way, that way they can take the criticism and use it as a way to learn from one's mistake.
But no, there's just this thinking that if you do this or say something that's not what everyone wants to hear, then you're just thrown out. You're useless.
Or in the other or in the worst case scenario, you're somehow considered a freaking asshole.
Or that too.
Yeah,
I don't get that.
Just for the simple fact that you did a small criticism, and for some reason you're either called an asshole or just kicked out, which is pretty stupid and really immature.
What? Well, I don't understand that. It's not necessary to have that.
Really, it isn't.
But sadly enough, that's everywhere.
It's more than
an example of what you said there. Of what was it? Of the what you had said, where they don't take
criticism.
Yeah, to improve on their next game or whatever they're making the next one is bending.
Ah, yes,
Bendy
Bendy.
and the Ink Machine. Yeah, the devs. Okay, the game. It isn't the best game out there, but
But
it's definitely like a lot of people want it, and this isn't what they thought that the game was at all. They saw, again, if they had seen a um, real gameplay about the game, yeah, gameplay about the game twice. If they had seen something real about it, like a real playthrough, an example, something quick to see the game, well, they would have known what it's actually like.
yes,
That's an occasion where the Steam tags don't help. An example, the Steam ones, they don't help. They
I
just saw someone on YouTube playing the game, and they saw them having fun or enjoyed it. So they should get the game. They might enjoy it in the same way.
yes,
That's not how things work.
that line of thought that is so I will have to say so cruel.
And once that's done, here's where the point of they don't improve the next game comes in. Once that's done, they go in and hit like or give it 4 out of 5 stars or 5 out of 5 stars to a game that has many issues,
Yes,
but they still give it just a high amount of praise,
and
even though they've never really played it for real. But just I don't understand.
and
Their team meet
no, I know the meat
kindly.
when formerly known as the meat leaf, but they change into kindly beast.
Yeah.
From what I've heard.
Well,
I have a feeling that the kindly beast won't last long either due to the situation that's been happening with them.
well, that's an example where they made that. They got a lot of praise, which wasn't real, and they made the next one, the puppet one, I think it was.
Showdown Bandit.
Showdown Bandit. They announced it. Another game about that.
Yeah.
Where that game, they announced it, and no one really cared or heard about it. And the people that did kind of said that it sucked, that it wasn't worth their time and all that. Well,
I mean,
yes.
don't get me wrong. There were sorry for interrupting, but
yeah.
there were some people that actually heard about it.
No, yeah, but
and-
nothing like Bendy and the Ink Machine.
okay,
Nothing like on that scale. Nothing. Yeah.
On a world scale.
Yeah, nothing like that.
Well, now that you mention
yeah.
it, I haven't been hearing much about Showdown Bandit, and I am
Me
aware
neither.
that Showdown Bandit was taking off steam, due to again the situation with Kindly Beast.
Well, the issue being that now they are getting the feedback of what all of those people actually think about their games.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Sadly enough. Well, that's exactly what should have happened with Bendy. But thanks to an example, A2 were playing it, and influencing the opinion of other people, that didn't happen. And instead it got an infinite amount of praise.
Yes.
Even though it has a lot of issues, and there's really no game to speak of.
Although there is game, it's just that the game.
Oh, yeah,
it's just in the first chapter you walk around and get the requirements and put them on the pedestal to activate the ink machine, and the second chapter once it's
Exactly.
done, it introduces combat.
Combat.
One of the only thing that's combat related is basically the melee, the axe.
Well, heavy quotes on the combat part.
But the combat is there just for for you to know.
But that brings me to my point that just many people got it and they started playing the game. But it just isn't what they saw. I have asked a few of those people that got the game because they saw some big tuber playing it, for example, and they played it.
Who knows? Maybe some people might have thought by judging by the cover art of the cartridge of the game, if they own it on consoles, they might have thought,
It came out on a cartridge.
yeah, you know, PS4.
No, yeah, but
yeah.
what's the point of having a cartridge?
Hey,
Discs.
hey, when you
What's the point about that?
when you really release a game, especially a game that used to be on Game Jolt in the form of a small little chapter 1 demo, and it grows to be a full game, and you have to release it on consoles, you're gonna have it in cartridge form sooner or later.
But you were saying.
Yeah, that maybe so some of them might have thought, judging by the look of the cartridge, this game might be decent or somewhat at least enjoyable.
Well, yeah, those people, I understand them and I agree with them.
Due to
But
that,
the people that I speak about is most of the people that bought the game just off of just when they went to YouTube. Those are the young people, and those are the people that left the oh, this game's excellent, like all that. Well, have they experienced the game for themselves, for real? You know, just those people are plenty, as in plenty. By that I mean there's a lot of them. So did those people experience the game for themselves, or did they just take into thought the opinion of the person that they just saw playing it, and extended it, or just said the same thing?
And not only that, but you should know, I'm one of those people that played Ink Machine a while back.
Yeah.
When it came out.
Yeah, but you who did that because you watched a lot of videos on it and all that, and saw the game first, and then made a choice. But the people that the people that I speak of are the people that don't do any of that.
Yeah.
They just go in, they see it, it seems good on their first look, and they don't even see any more about the game, and then buy it. Without just blindly.
The ones that don't do much searching, and they only search for like the sugar grain.
Or when they go to an example Daily Motion or any other site, they just put the game, but they watch some of the most viewed videos. The videos that have no information and just tell you to buy. Yeah, those ones. They just watch those.
Yes.
Well, yeah, those people are the ones that I speak about.
Yes, those people.
Sadly enough, those are the easiest to tell them to buy.
Easy prey for money.
Yeah, there's not much that you need to do. Again, as I said, just give a free copy to someone big or someone well known, and done.
Oh yeah.
That's enough to convince many people to simply buy the game, because the people that they know, the big person that they know, is playing the game, so it must be good, right? Or it must be worth buying.
Oh yeah, fun little fact. Call me crazy, but Showdown Bandit and Ink Machine share too many similarities for Showdown Bandit to be considered new.
Weren't they just a copy and paste of the last game?
Again,
much like other games, which we will get into some other day. Enter the Dungeon. Much like other games.
And we will also explain why.
Once they make something that's been spread everywhere by someone big, they kind of need to make the same thing again, sadly enough, and then make the same thing again, sadly enough, and then make the same thing again. Well, yeah, they kind of need to. If they try something new, most people will just either not like it or complain that this isn't what they want.
Yes.
Exactly. Well, sadly enough, they need to keep going. It'd be nice if they made something new, but if they do, they risks just not being well known as good devs at all, or good people.
Changing this topic back to the comparison of Showdown Bandit and the Ink Machine. I wanted to say that its similarities are this. It Bendy and the Ink Machine takes place in a abandoned place that it was meant to be a children's entertainment place.
Yeah.
I'll
check definite. No. We'll speak about that some other day.
Oh wait. Anywho, Showdown Bandit also takes place in a children's entertainment place that is being either haunted or controlled by powerful supernatural forces, and it also has a female, as a more morally gray or antagonistic female character. Bendy and the Ink Machine with Alice Angel, or Showdown Bandit with another female puppet that I forgot its name.
Yeah, well, again, the last one was successful, right?
Yes.
They should just do the same thing. Why would they change? I mean, in this occasion, it didn't work. Most people saw right through it. If someone big had seen the game or had been sponsoring the game, it would have been big. Once again, would have been at least decently big, but that didn't happen for this one.
And now we got news of another Bendy game, Bendy and a Dark Revival, which by the looks of it, they are making the game in one full game without having it released in chapters, and all it says is 2021.
Even though if they put it out in chapters, they can raise the price per chapter and make more money out of that. Chapter 1 could be like $8. Chapter 2 can be $9. Chapter 3 can be $7. That's a lot more.
Yes.
At the end of the day, they earn an extra $3 to $5, which in terms of game deving, that goes a long way, because that's several million times. But yeah.
Yes, that whenever there's a development team that releases a game in chapter form, and they release, like, for example, chapter 2 or 3, they have to put a price on it. And
a bit of a high on price per chapter.
Back then, when Bendy and the Ink Machine was still being developed by chapter, for example, chapter 2 and 3 were treated as DLC that you need to buy.
Yeah. At the end of the day, that makes more money.
Yes.
Beyond $60, if they raise the price enough for each and every one, that raises the cash.
Raise versus the cash, and also increases the chances of other customers.
And it's not like the game has a $60 price tag, which it does not have. But an example, I make a game, right? It's actually worth $20, no more. It's actually worth $20. But if I put up the game in chapters, I could make beyond $20, even though that's the actual worth of the game.
Yes.
Right? But the contents is only $20 worth. So, yeah, technically a scam, technically, but as long as it sells and people don't know any of that, then who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Yeah, just get the money, screw the customer.
Sadly enough, yeah, that's the point. Sadly enough, instead of making something actually good at a good price point, no.
Yeah, no,
That's the point of having chapters being sold like that. There really is no other point to them that. There's no need to have that for any game in existence.
Yeah.
They don't need that. The only reason that they do all that is for cash, for the extra dollar. As I said, the game can have a total value of $20, for example, but with chapters, it can be worth more. But you're still getting $20 worth of content. It's just that this time of year I'm paying 60 bucks instead.
Yes.
Yeah, that's sad. Instead of making something decent and all that, they just scam you out of more cash.
That is truly a sad case.
Yeah. Another team that did that every single time because they had to was Telltale.
Yeah, Telltale
They
games.
had to do that. Their games are nearly worthless since there is no game.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
they had to do it in chapters to make more money, to make their money's worth. They had to. There isn't 50 or $30 worth of game in their games.
I mean, there is some gameplay. It's just that it's presented in a
No,
very
yeah, but, like, it's still-
small amount,
yeah, but
and most of
walking.
it is either generic or just there just to compensate for the lack of gameplay variety.
Exactly, but having the ability to walk after 20 minutes of seeing just a scene isn't worth $20.
Yeah.
No, of course not. Or just
And by the way, once you know what to do in those scenes where you have to walk around and get
exactly
items to
once
collect
you
a puzzle.
know, you just press blindly and they're done. You just, as I said, they're nearly worthless. They don't have any game. They had to put the games that they made in chapters to make their money back.
Yes.
Sadly enough. Now, it's not like point and click games are bad. Some of them can be quite fun. It's just that they need to have the right price. You know,
Yeah.
in terms of cash, they need to have the right price. Because having a point and click worth $50, you can instead buy something else at $40 and have hours of fun instead of 6 hours.
Like for example, Castlevania Lords of Shadows 1, not 2. Okay, we don't talk about 2. 1 specifically.
2 isn't the worst thing out there, but yeah, we don't really talk about that.
Yes.
But it isn't the worst thing out there. But yeah, why buy that when you can buy this and have dozens of hours of entertainment instead of maybe 3 hours of entertainment?
Or if you're a new beginner to games or franchises like Castlevania or Halo, then that'll be good because it makes the whole exploring and seeing the game itself without spoilers a lot more entertaining.
Yeah, well, instead of getting that at a high price, just get the other thing instead.
Yes, but sadly that isn't the case nowadays.
Sadly enough, no, it isn't the case.
Yes. Just wish that it wasn't this bad nowadays, and at least there could have been some good left of it, like like making games a little more longer. I mean, I know it takes a lot of time and effort
Oh
to.
yeah, to make a game, but there's no need to make them like 3 hours
Short.
long, 4 hours. What happened to long games?
That
They
take
don't need to
like
have.
30 hours or 20. Well, I'm not talking about it in the form of an RPG game.
Yeah,
No,
no.
I'm
Those
talking
no.
I'm talking about in every single genre of
Yeah.
game, from survival horror to sci-fi to point and click puzzle.
What happened to all that?
Yeah, because I don't pay $30 for a game that I can finish in under 6 hours. No.
And if you're someone which plays the game, just for 5 hours straight, that's even less time than that.
Yes.
What happened to all that?
I ain't got a single clue on what happened to the rule of making the game long for like 30 hours and it's worth $20 rule.
Yeah,
But
it's not like deving times have gotten longer. They have not. Just what? What? Why are many so short, but so expensive as well?
yeah,
I don't get that.
a good a good example of a good game, but it's really short. It's Little Nightmares,
Yeah, it's not bad, but why is it
the
this
first
short?
one. Yeah,
And again, as I said, in terms of dev time, all of the tools used to make a game have gotten better, increasing the efficiency. There we go, of time.
yes,
So why have games gotten shorter? All of the tools are excellent, and apart from that, they're at an excellent price. So why?
I
It
don't.
just seems like many of these devs have a good idea, but they can't grow it to be hours long.
Yeah.
Or maybe these devs just don't have, in terms of money, they don't have another job, because being a dev it isn't a job that you just say that you're a dev and stay at your home and there and eat something throughout the day. That isn't a job like that. Most devs don't earn money like most jobs do. Every 15 days, that's not how things work as a dev.
Oh no.
That's far from the actual truth. Unless it's from a big dev team like EA. There you go. They do get a paid over on time. But for most devs, that's not how things work. They get paid once, and it's in a big payment. Once or twice and done. The rest of it goes to other people done.
Yes.
Sadly enough, that's the truth about that. Well, my guess as to the length of games is that most of these devs don't really have any other job. They just assume that they'll earn money once the game sells. And in order to live with a small amount of cash, they need to make the game short to put it out to get more cash. There you go. That's what I think is happening to these smaller devs.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's just a bad idea. All around, just, again, a dev isn't gonna get rich by making a game. That's not how things work. Especially just if you're small, which most of them are. It's not how things work.
And it's not how things will ever be.
I mean, it's not that they'll never be like that. An example today, you can't get paid every 15 to 14 days. They can. It's just that it needs to be a big team, much like EA. There you go. Their best ones, of course, that they want to keep them, so they gotta keep paying for them to stay, or else they'll leave.
Yes.
So yeah, that's a thing. That's possible. But for a smaller dev who doesn't have the cash to do that, they can't.
Oh yeah.
If they do, it's just a bad idea.
Oh yeah, and another problem that I noticed that, and for some reason there have been a lot of games that have been delayed.
Whoa, that should be saved for another day, because that topic can be quite long as well.
Are you sure?
Yes, quite long.
Okay.
But in any case, I think that we should stop here for today because there's a lot to speak about. But yeah, in terms of this, we'll just save this for another day, and I'd like
or
to hear
another time,
maybe even. But I'd like to hear what. I'd like to hear what some of the people that watch this think about what we've said. Do they have any opinions and all that? Obviously, this is a free for all. We don't really want anyone to come out of this and be all hive mind like,
be all preachy about how they're like, I follow these YouTubers because they told me about the whole video game cinematic trailers bad.
Obviously, we don't want that. We want opinions.
Yeah.
A
free mind.
That's what we want to hear and see.
Yeah, people that can think for themselves without having the need of others to think for them.
We'd like to hear that and see and hear more opinions on all of this.
And let's not forget that we're also aware that there's gonna be that one or two.
There's always going to be someone, as you were gonna say, that will not see his part of our vid and go straight to the comment section and write a bunch of a hate storm and all that.
Yeah,
and that's okay because as we just said, there's always that one person that does that, obviously.
And they're going to call us. Oh no, I don't like you. You people give me a fucking cancer.
Yeah.
But that's all right. We don't like those types of people either.
Yeah, it's okay.
Or anybody that's all like, oh, you stutter a lot. Nah, still whatever. Still.
Well, that's exactly what we kind of don't want. Obviously, it'll still happen. Duh.
Yeah, because it's fun. Why not?
As we said, there's always that one person that does that, obviously. But for all of the others, we'd like to hear some opinions.
Yeah, the people that would at least care about this and would like to give off a opinion, whether it be big or small or good or a criticism, at least a really long criticism.
And apart from that, I think this is the end of our little chat here.
Yeah.
So